Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thought. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my reign of reality and empowerment.
November 27, 2025, Trump's Day One grocery miracle turned into a turkey-sized shitshow for your holiday table. Oh, honey, buckle up because I'm about to unload on this absolute clusterfuck that's got your Thanksgiving dinner looking more expensive than a Mar-a-Lago membership fee. And it's all thanks to that spray-tanned con artist in the White House who swore up and down he'd slash grocery prices faster than you can say you're fired. Remember back in August 2024, when Donald Trump was prancing around his Bedminster golf course with a table piled high with eggs, milk, and flour like he was auditioning for a bad infomercial. He looked right into the camera, all puffed up in orange, and bellowed, "When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. Like he was gonna snap his tiny fingers and poof, inflation gone, groceries cheap as dirt. Well, guess what, America? It's been damn near a year since he slithered back into the Oval Office, and not only did prices not drop, they're spiking higher than a QAnon conspiracy theorist's blood pressure during a fact check. Grocery prices are up too. 7% from last year, hitting the highest they've been in 3 goddamn years, and if you're planning a holiday meal, you're about to feel the burn right in your wallet while Trump golfs with his billionaire pals. I mean, come on. The man's idea of bringing prices down must be code for. Bring down the hammer on working families because that's exactly what's happening. Let's start with the star of the show, that sad little turkey you're eyeing at the store, wondering if you can afford to deep fry it or if ramen's making a comeback for Thanksgiving. Turkey prices. Up a whopping 40% this year, folks, and it's not some act of God or bad harvest. It's avian flu ripping through flocks like a bad sequel to a zombie movie, killing millions of birds and shrinking supply faster than Trump's attention span during a briefing. Over 30 million birds affected since 2022, with 1.82 million just in the last month alone, and commercial turkey farms hit 124 times in 2025. Wholesale prices surged 75% since last October, jumping to $1.71 a pound and potentially climbing to $2.05 by the time you stuff it with your tears. Experts are screaming from the rooftops that we need better containment, more tracking, maybe even vaccines for these poor birds. But what does Trump do? He fires or furloughs the goddamn scientists and bird flu experts who actually know how to fight this shit. Yeah, you heard that right. The USDA, under his clown show administration, slashed a quarter of the staff in the key office coordinating bird flu response, including lab workers testing samples and inspectors keeping outbreaks in check. They accidentally axed several bird flu specialists over a weekend in February, then had to beg a couple back because, whoops, now we can't contain the virus spreading to dairy cows and even humans. One confirmed human death in Louisiana this year, and cases popping up in vets and farm workers. But nah, let's prioritize firing deep state eggheads instead of saving your holiday bird. Ha. It's like watching a drunk uncle try to fix the Thanksgiving turkey by throwing it in the microwave. Total disaster. And everyone's going hungry while he burps up excuses. And don't think you're getting a break on the sides, because Trump's genius tariff tantrum is about to turn your pumpkin pie, cranberry sauce, and carrots into luxury imports you can't touch without selling a kidney. About 60% of our fresh fruit and 35% of our fresh veggies come from abroad, mostly Mexico and Canada, because guess what, America? We don't grow avocados in Alaska or bananas in Ohio. But Trump, in his infinite wisdom, slapped 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada imports starting in March, plus a 10% universal hike and even steeper ones on China, like 34% on stuff like garlic, spices, and apple juice. Boom, instant price gouge. Target's CEO straight up warned shoppers back in March that fruit and veggie costs would jump within days, and here we are 9 months later, with fresh produce inflation at 1.8%, and climbing because those tariffs get passed right to you at the checkout. Avocados. 80% from Mexico. Kiss those guac dreams goodbye unless you want to pay double. Tomatoes, limes, berries, all up because Mexico supplies over half our fruit and nearly 70% of our veggies. And cranberries. Those little red bastards are mostly domestic, but the cans and sauces often rely on imported sugars and packaging that got tariff slammed from places like Guatemala and Peru. Carrots, pulled from fields that use migrant labor disrupted by Trump's deportation fever dreams. It's a perfect storm of stupidity. Tariffs jacking import costs, avian flu wiping out proteins, and zero effort to fix supply chains because why bother when you can blame Biden's mess for your own hot air promises? I swear, if I have to hear one more MAGA minion whine about fake news. While their grocery bill hits 4 figures, I'm gonna lose it, yell right in their face that this is what America First looks like when first means first to the poorhouse. But wait, it gets worse. Because while your plate's emptying out, Trump's GOP cronies are gutting the lifelines that keep families from starving in the first place, all to fund tax cuts for the 1% who don't even know what a food bank line looks like. We're talking SNAP, food stamps for over 42 million Americans, kids, seniors, vets, disabled folks, who rely on it to not go to bed hungry. The Republicans won big, beautiful bill or whatever bullshit they called their megabill back in July. It slashed SNAP by a record $187 billion through 2034, the biggest cut in history, with another $300 billion on the chopping block from the House budget. Work requirements jacked up so high that parents and older adults are getting booted off unless they jump through hoops in job markets that don't exist, especially in rural red states where unemployment's already a bitch. States now have to pony up their own cash for benefits starting in 2027, so guess what? They're gonna trim rolls even harder to save bucks, kicking off 500,000 more people, including children, by next year. Benefits dropping $15 a month per person by 2034, that's $4. $87 a day after cuts for a mom and kid. Try feeding a family on that while eggs hit $8 a dozen again thanks to bird flu chaos. And food banks. They're fucked too, with SNAP-ed funding for nutrition classes and stretching dollars axed, plus TEFAP commodities for emergency food down because it's all tied to that thrifty food plan the GOP just neutered. Feeding America says these cuts wipe out 6 to 9 billion meals a year, 9 times what food banks can even dream of providing, and they're already operating on fumes from post-COVID spikes and $1 billion in federal hits earlier this year. Rural America, Trump's supposed heartland. They'll get hammered hardest, with Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia staring down massive losses because SNAP's their biggest anti-hunger weapon. And now it's rusty as hell, farmers and farm workers. Don't get me started. They're the real casualties in this tariff trade war circus Trump loves so much. Labor shortages from mass deportations mean fields rotting unpicked, while retaliatory tariffs from Canada and Mexico slam U.S. exports, leaving dairy farmers dumping milk and grain growers watching prices tank. Trump's firing federal ag workers at rates that make the Black Death look like a flu-shot line, 300,000 gone by year's end, 1 in 8 of the civilian workforce, including USDA inspectors who could have contained bird flu before it turned turkeys into gold-plated poultry. Probationary hires. Axed en masse, even the ones processing disaster aid for hurricane-ravaged farms, and the GOPs shut down threats. They paused SNAP payouts, forcing families to food banks that couldn't keep up, all while billionaires get their tax breaks extended. It's immoral, it's illegal, unions are suing left and right, but Trump's too busy pardoning turkeys on camera to give a damn about the humans starving because of his policies. I mean, laugh or cry, right? Ha, picture Trump at the podium, pardoning. That turkey gobble while grocery stores eat the cost hikes just to lure you in with fake deals. Knowing full well avian flu and tariffs mean your basket's lighter and pricier. Experts like food economists at Michigan State are begging for more investment, better tracking, hell, even rethinking how we cram birds into factories ripe for outbreaks. But nah, the administration's too busy rehiring the one or two scientists they didn't scare off with pink slips. And the public health risk. Bird flus jumped to humans 68 times since 2024. Low risk, they say, but mutate that shit with weakened oversight and boom, pandemic 2.0 while Trump's tweeting about witch hunts. Families hit hardest. Low-income ones in the sticks, where food deserts mean driving hours for basics, now facing $1,250 a year extra from tariffs alone, per the budget lab. Seniors skipping meds for meals, kids going hungry in school. It's a goddamn tragedy wrapped in a red bow. Bottom line, this holiday season's a rude awakening to Trump's grift. Promises of cheap eats turned into policy poison, colliding tariffs, firings, and cuts that make every meal a negotiation with your bank account. Don't buy the spin that it's hard to bring prices down. It's hard when you're actively sabotaging the experts and safety nets keeping shit afloat. Demand better, vote smarter next time, because if we let this slide, next year's Day 1 miracle will be Day 1 of bread lines. Oh, and dearest MAGA, I was not talking to you. I just want to thank you all, like, share, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Copyright 2025 independent writer, Crowning Thoughts truth speaker, AI video content creator, writer, blogger, Santiago, DC. Maria, all rights reserved.